Gonna do this unedited, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, good stuff.
John, how are you today?
I'm absolutely wonderful. Collette, thank you so much for your time.
No
You're a busy
worries.
woman.
I am.
Yeah, tell me about it.
What do I do?
Yes.
Yes, well, I'm the owner of Picture Perfect Photography.
We know what you do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm a photographer.
Okay.
I do commercial photography, weddings and fitness photography.
Uh-huh.
I also run photography workshops.
Yep.
And I'm based in Barnes Town Centre.
Fantastic, good stuff. So tell me, what has been, because like your business is really on fire right now, isn't it? Do you know, like you are literally accelerating at a fast pace. What do you think, other than obviously working together, but on a serious note, like what do you think's been like a real key turning point for you that's allowed you to accelerate?
I think having a plan, as you call it, a massive action plan.
Uh-huh.
So, and then writing the goals down. I think I've ticked everything off my list now, so I need to make a new list.
Yep.
And having a micro plan of how you're going to get to those goals.
Okay, fantastic. And how does that kind of look then? Do you know, do you break it down even further? Do you know, I mean, how do you action that? Or take massive action?
How do I take massive action? I guess it's just breaking it down and just setting little tasks to do one at a time, and then eventually you'll get to where you want to be. Yeah,
yeah. How long would you usually try something before giving up? Is it not working?
Well, it depends what it is, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So for example, I mean, let's say that for example that you've got a goal, you've broke it down, you've planned it out, and you've been really going at it quite hard for, I don't know, 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's not quite materialising for you just yet. What's your kind of thoughts, and how do you keep them going? What works for you?
I think you've got to reassess why it's not working, and then ensure if it is content you're putting out there, it's the right content, or just look at your strategy basically,
right? And
just readdress and then tweak it and then redo.
Yes. And so for yourself, what keeps you going when you have to do that?
The end goal that I've set.
So would it be fair to say that do you get a lot of clarity over the end goal, or is it kind of quite fuzzy, or do you know?
Yeah, so obviously you're clear, you're focused, you know exactly what you want, down to if it's a car, you know what colour it's going to be, or whatever it is.
Sure.
You know exactly, and you might have even a visual physically on your phone or whatever.
Sure. So tell me about your car, because this is what you did, didn't you? You did exactly just this.
Yeah, so the car. Which is a bit strange. I mean, everybody's heard of law of attraction. So I had a Range Rover pinned on my notice board for the last couple of years, an orange one. Didn't know I was going to get it, and it was really out of reach, like a complete pipe dream. So then obviously I started working with you, John, and you said basically we're going to get you that car, and I was like, no, we're not. So then we basically just set things in motion, and eventually I've been able to afford the car. We're only a short time, weren't it? We're only maybe February to August, so not very long at all. But on my laptop I had also put a grey Range Rover on the screensaver, and I've ended up with a grey one. Yeah. Which I think is freaky.
Yes.
So I got the dream car.
Sure.
But then, as you being you, I was pushing me to move into the next dream car.
What's the next car?
An Audi R8.
Have you got a screenshot of that?
Yes.
Is it on your laptop?
It's on my laptop. Yeah. Yes.
So it's your wallpaper.
It's my wallpaper. Sure. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So we've got our work cut out.
We have. We've got a long way to go, but we'll do it.
We'll do it. Good stuff. So tell me about your business then. Tell me so for everybody else that knows you, they've seen like your business, how it's grown. You know, you've gone from working at home, and you had a studio at home, to now having your own studio with staff, and you're just about to take potentially another staff member on as well. So I mean, tell us, that's an exciting journey, is it? Tell us about what you've learned in that time. Yeah,
I think you've got to appreciate how far you have come. So I think you're good at reminding me of that. Because when you're in it and you're doing it and you're pushing so hard, it's easy to forget how far you've come. So how do I go about getting here, or Is that what you want to know?
Yeah, just like tell us like because obviously you work so hard.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that other people don't, but like you especially, you're a typical red personality type person. You know, you're a go-getter. You're out there. You're running it. You're aggressive, and I don't mean that in an aggressive way towards people, but you're aggressive about the things that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So like by going through what you've gone through so far to get to your studio, coming out of working from home, building your business, getting good income coming in. I mean, like the income will come onto that after.
Yeah.
But like to be where you are right now, I mean, like what's a part of you that's had to change to make that work?
I think it will always be in there.
Yeah.
It's just being unlocked, as you always say.
Okay.
But I think it's mainly having the focus on where I'm actually going and where I want to be.
Got you.
That's what's changed my mindset. I always knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't believe I could do it. So I suppose self-belief.
Okay.
And just really focusing on the areas that actually are going to generate that income and they're going to work, rather than focusing on something you know is not working deep down, but you really, really want to make it work, but it's not quite there for whatever reason.
Sure.
So putting your activities into the right areas.
Sure.
Yeah.
How important is mindset?
Massively, yeah. I do listen to a lot of personal development, which I think helps, because listening to the people who have done what you're trying to do, not necessarily in the same sector, is going to help, isn't it? Because they've been where you are.
Sure.
So even if you just pick up one little thing a day, then it's one more thing you didn't have yesterday.
Of course. So how do you safeguard your kind of attitude, your mindset when you feel that things are, as they often do in business, you know, spiral out of control, people let you down, things don't work out.
Yeah.
How do you safeguard your mindset so that you don't completely lose focus and crash?
I think it's how you react to any situation, isn't it? You know, like I tell my intern Alex, it's how you react to any situation. So things could be going wrong, but what molds you is how you react to that person or whatever's gone on. Yeah. And that's going to affect what happens next.
Sure. So how would you react? Like, what's your advice to people?
If it's not going right?
Yeah.
Just focus on the end goal, readdress, and just believe in what you're doing.
Fantastic, good stuff. So, like you said before, that like the confidence, the self-confidence in whether or not you're doing the right thing, and was one of the things that you felt like held you back initially. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that belief was there to start?
Yeah, well, I think my confidence when I was starting to work with you, it was low. I did believe I could do it, but I didn't really believe I could do it.
Right. Why do you think that is?
Because maybe we're at a point in my business where I was stuck. So I guess you helped me come unstuck and find the right areas of where I need to be and the right spaces I need to be in.
Sure.
So networking's helped me massively, because you're obviously out there meeting a lot of different people, and getting different influences and just different ideas and different people's perspectives on just general life and business life.
Got you. Why do you think that you got stuck in the first place? You know, is there certain things that happened? I mean, what do you think happened to get you stuck?
I think my confidence dropped a little bit. I don't mind saying that, I was just doing wedding photography and the bodybuilding photography in sort of 2016, 2017. And it's so competitive, that market, that I was just trying to be heard. For whatever reason, I couldn't be heard. I know my work's good, I know my service is good, and I'm confident in that, but why was I not getting as many bookings as what I wanted? I still don't know now. But I'm really enjoying doing all the corporate photography, and that's really where I think I'm at home.
Right, brilliant. So in terms of now moving forward, do you feel that you've got a lot more clarity? Would that be something that keeps you motivated, do you think, that clarity?
Yeah. As you know, John, I've had to, create new goals. So we've achieved pretty much everything in the last 14 months. We've achieved everything I wanted to achieve. So there were a period of time where I was like, well, I've done everything now. I don't know what else I can do, but I'm now coming into a second phase of working with you, where we're going to build the business, grow the team, and get a bigger studio and move forward and just make it even better than it is now. So I think setting goals is important, and having clarity over those goals is really important, but you have to readdress them like with anyone.
Of course. So how important to you is having a team of people around you?
I think it's massively important. I'm an impatient person, so yeah, as you know. So it's really important to have people around you helping you. There is that saying that you should not be the best person in the room at whatever it is. So I'm not a marketing person, so why would I not, I may as well employ someone to do marketing for me. The same goes with retouching. I'm a photographer, I'm not a retoucher, there's a difference. So I want to get the best in the business to work around me, and then I can concentrate on my actual job of what I love is photography.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. So now you've got a team of people that you like, because that's a hard thing for people to do, isn't it? Not just yourself, but for
I think
a lot
letting
of people.
go is hard as well.
Letting go. That's what I was leading into, is that for a lot of people to actually let go of what in essence is their baby is very challenging. I mean, tell me a little bit about like how I let go. How you let go, and how you're now comfortable letting go.
I think I let go because I had to, because I realised I couldn't work literally 24 hours a day. I could only work about 16. So which is still difficult, but when you're driven it's not,
right,
because it feels like a hobby rather than a job.
Sure.
But letting go, I just had to do it, otherwise I would have made myself ill. But I want to move at a pace that is faster than other people, and at a level that's higher than other people. So if I want to do that and I want to grow faster, then I need people around me to support me.
Of course. What's like? In fact, actually, would you say, as a person, are you an emotional person? Do you let things like play on your emotional side, or are you kind of headstrong and you kind of just like work through issues and problems?
Definitely a red personality, headstrong, just face the problem, get on with it. I wouldn't say I'm an emotional person at all. I'm quite, I don't know what the word is, task orientated. So if there's a problem, it's not a problem for long. It gets sorted and there's a solution pretty much straight away.
Sure.
So logical thinker.
Good. Do you think that's helped you in business?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously there is times where you do, or you could take it personally, but you can choose not to take it personally. And that's the difference, I think, between A, being a leader, and B, being able to just get on with business, rather than making it a personal thing. If someone says, no, sorry, we don't want to use you, or you're too expensive, or whatever, offer them a solution which you think is best for the client. Like you always say, fall in love with the client. And if it is the right fit for them, that's fine. I have very occasionally turned away people and said, I'm not the right fit for you, but this photographer is. And they'll remember that. So
good. Brilliant. Good. And in terms of like sales, because I mean ultimately you're a photographer, but how important is learning to sell, would you say, in your business?
Oh, massively important. I think that's probably actually, look, in this conversation I've just realised just now, sales is probably one of the things you've taught me most-ish. Strategy and sales, equal. So yeah, I think you've helped me a lot with the sales side of things. With weddings, obviously we've got the wedding day and they've booked the package, but everybody knows that you tend to buy a load of stuff after, frames, albums, extras, and that's an area that I've really excelled in since I've been working with you.
So the cross-selling, the upselling.
Yeah. It's just following up as well. They always said the money's in the follow-up, and it's true.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Would you say that you're comfortable with sales now?
Definitely. I love sales.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Did you think you've always loved sales, or do you think it was one of the things that you used to hate, or really just kind of like dislike?
No, I didn't mind it. So I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, I just didn't mind it because I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have a strategy.
Right.
And I just were kind of like, I don't know, just sporadically trying to sell to people. There were no forethought there. Whereas now there's a pre-follow-up in a way. I'm sending people guides and brochures beforehand, and then during the photo shoot I'll mention certain things, but only if it's right for the client, obviously. And then afterwards, we'll follow up on that as well.
Sure,
Yeah.
brilliant. What's something that's been like what's something that's gone really bad for you in business, in your time in business?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
What in the last 7 years?
Yeah, in the last 7 years, what would
Okay.
you say is like the biggest mistake that you've made or error
Like
that you've
lesson
made?
learned.
Lesson learned, yeah.
That's so difficult to answer. To put your activities into the wrong area and the thing that doesn't bring you the money.
Yep.
And I've only realised what that was probably more recently since working with you. So trying to will something to work that's just not going to work.
Yes.
So I guess you've just got to make sure whatever you're doing is for the right result.
So it's adjusting.
Yeah.
To make sure that you're focusing in the right places.
Yeah, and I guess not setting goals before I met you.
Yeah.
You know, that I never really done that.
Okay.
I'd done it in my head, but not wrote it down.
Right.
And since I've started writing goals down, they've all happened.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Good. What's the biggest win? Would you say that you've had? The biggest win?
Biggest win. I mean, it doesn't always have to be monetary, does it? But I have brought on a lot of new clients that I thought I'd never work for in the past sort of year. So I suppose getting clients in that I'd never thought I'd work with, so that opportunity. I don't know, do you want it to be monetary based or
whatever you consider to be a big win for you?
A win?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could think of more than me right now.
Well, I mean,
that many.
We've already mentioned your car. I mean, your car was a big win for you because it was something that were quite personal. It's something that you chased for a while.
Yeah, getting my own studio space
space.
Separate to my house, which has enabled me to bring in more staff and have a bigger space to entertain clients, do photo shoots, and just display my work.
Sure.
Obviously is massively important to me, and I know you did question that for a while, and but you made sure I wanted it for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. So that's a win that I've managed to achieve that. I don't know. There's just been so many. It's just been amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So what's next?
What's next?
Yeah.
Like you alluded to, we're gonna possibly take on another member of staff to deal with like the marketing side of the business. And we're currently building up relationships with other photographers within Yorkshire, so we can take on different jobs. I am fully booked for like 6 to 8 weeks at a time, so I want to bring that down a little bit by offering a bit of diversity and more availability and a little bit more speed potentially as well with the editing side of things. So Alex will be coming on from just like an intern to potentially an apprenticeship soon. We're trying to work through that, and then obviously we're going to have to move into a bigger studio as well.
Brilliant.
So we can offer more space, more sets, more options for clients.
Exciting times. And I mean, like, just to kind of wrap things up here, so there's a couple of things that's been major wins for you, what I feel as well. I mean, like, you got nominated for the Business Awards.
Yeah.
Off the back of that, you picked up a lot of really good publicity as well. A lot of like local press started to cover
about 8 newspapers or magazines
and newspapers as well. And I remember one of the things that you talked about in there is that you went from having like 0 corporate clients to was it 90?
I think it was more like pushing like 100.
100 corporate clients.
200 corporate jobs last year.
And that were from 0?
That was from 0 because I only reintroduced corporate photography into my business in January last year.
Sure, and then the business is now working on a subscription model where you're now building retained business.
I suppose that's been. Let's rewind some of those questions then. So the subscription side of things, I'd had that in my head for about a year, something like that, and it was initially designed for restaurants to fit with their menus and the change of menus, and then we sort of started working together in February 2018, and then I think we both came to the conclusion that it would be good for any business, but you really pushed me to get that set up, get the pricing guide done and set that in motion and really start pushing it, and that's when I got the confidence to actually do that. And it has changed my business.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing for a lot of businesses. It's tough when you've got to start every month on 0.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have that retained business coming in, you know that there's the rent's covered, or the staff wages are covered, or the marketing expenditures covered, and it's nice to have that consistent basis to work from as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And that's just getting warmed up right now as well, isn't it?
We're really making that stronger literally every day. We're getting new clients every week, and it's really growing, and it's the best thing for the client, I believe. Everybody should be on it, because we get to work with them on a regular basis. We really get to know them. It's affordable, pay monthly. I just think it's gonna change how people look at photography for business.
Absolutely wonderful. And then financial wise, I mean, that's been a massive change for you, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? I hope you don't mind with sharing, we're touching on a little bit of personal stuff, but I remember you saying, and you said it quite openly to a few people, is that, you know, you used to worry when the bank account got down to like £50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas
when I joined Foreign, I were at £50.
Yeah. Like, and now you're talking 10, 15 times that, and then some.
Yeah.
And well, more than that actually, a lot more than that. So we're not going to talk specific numbers, but you get worried now when it gets to like 20 times that, don't you, as a minimum? Yeah,
because I've got a standard I've set myself, and I never want to be in that position ever again.
Sure. So how important do you think it is for you to be able to have that standard, and how have you created that standard so that you never allow yourself to go back there again?
Yeah, well, obviously the subscription model has adjusted that, and it's allowed my cash flow to be a lot better and more consistent. So it's really helped. And also, every client that comes on gets billed on the same day of the month. So it's like having a regular job almost, because you get payday, and then I know how to manage my finances. So cash flow is king, not cash is king, as you say. So that's just been revolutionary, really.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. What kind of advice would you give somebody new to business? Like, so in any industry, what's kind of some good advice for someone coming into business that's new?
So advice for someone who's just starting up their business would be to invest in the best, whatever it is in your area you can, whether it be equipment or the people. I know not everyone's got a disposable income, like budget, but just try and push yourself to get the best you can. Don't scrimp and scrape. If it takes you longer, that's okay. Set goals and find someone to mentor you. There is people who mentor you for free, such on Launchpad. Obviously not everyone can afford yourself, but eventually when they can afford to pay a coach, that was also a game changer for me. I should mention you, John.
Well, thank you.
But no, I do recommend you to pretty much everyone I meet. So it has changed my business.
Absolutely beautiful. That's amazing. What trips you up now? Is there anything that you worry about?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things. As we've just spoke about, the bank account not getting to below a certain amount. That drives me even more to constantly keep pushing, working 14, 15, 16 hours a day and doing the right things in those hours, not just being busy for the
providing
sake of
it stays 6 figures now, you're happy.
Providing that, I'm happy. But that gives me more security, which gives me more time to think about what I actually need to do, like such as client briefs and creating for clients rather than worrying about the business side as much. And worrying about where's the money coming from. It allows us to do a better job for my clients ultimately.
Sure. If this all collapsed tomorrow, if your business failed, what would you do? Would you get a job, or would you brush yourself down and start again?
I definitely wouldn't get a job. I cannot be employed. I do believe that there's certain people in this life that cannot be employed. We're rebellious, and I think you're one of them. Let's agree on that. I'd start again. Maybe definitely something creative, whether it be marketing, with photography in there. I don't know, but I'd start again. I've almost gave up a few times, to be honest.
I think most people do, don't they? Yeah.
And if you don't give up, at least every couple of months, they do say that you're not in the right job.
Not actually give up, but think about
giving up. Not actually give up. So if you think you're going to give up every couple of months, or you think, what the hell am I doing? This is crazy.
Sure.
Then you're not pushing hard enough.
Yes.
And I suppose for someone starting in business, if you don't think about quitting at least every week, then you're not doing it hard enough.
Right, okay, good. And then sort of the kind of last couple of questions really then is like, so you're married, so you've got obviously your husband, you work incredibly hard. How do you manage to, and I'm going to use a word that I don't like, I'm going to use the word balance because it's what people are used to hearing. I don't think balance is the right word, by the way, but that's for a different podcast altogether. But how do you balance your home life, your work life, being a wife, being a, do you know, how do you balance all that out?
With great difficulty in one sentence, to be quite honest with you. With a very patient husband who I guess I've shared the goal with him, I've shared with him how I'm going to get to that goal, and every other day I come home and say, this is the update, today we've got another subscription client come on, or we've got this happen, and he sees, it's another step towards a mutual goal. Brilliant.
And I think that what you've just said there actually really kind of highlights my thought process between balance and I think that balance is why I think balance is wrong. I think that what you're talking about there is what I always say is integration. So that you're not trying to balance your home life with your work life, you're actually involving them two together and integrating them, which is, I mean, to do that is a fantastic thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's no interest in my business, to be honest with you. He's not interested in, I think he's only been to this office twice in a year. That's because I made him. He's not interested in that. He's interested in our end goal as a married couple, not particularly the business goal, but he understands that the business will get us to where we need to be.
Fantastic. And he's super supportive though, isn't he? Like really on your side.
Yeah, and like we have his moments like any married couple, but then I remind him that I'm working really, really, really hard to get to that goal, and then he understands again.
How important is the downtime that you take together? Because you start going away on holiday more often. Now that you're in a position that you can do this, do you know, like, how do you think that's important? Would you say that's important for people?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like to go away on holiday 4 or 5 times a year on like 4, 5, 6 day breaks. He prefers to do more like every day, like watching TV every day together, but you've got to just balance between the two of you and find what works for you. So how important is it? I think it's individual to each couple.
Yes. And then very, very, finally, I suppose the most important thing is anybody that's interested in photography, they might need some corporate shots, photography, any kind of photography. Where can people find out more about yourself?
So I'm literally on every social media platform, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, obviously on my website. Just Google Picture Perfect Photography and I'll come up.
Fantastic, brilliant. Collette, thank you so much for your
John.
time. It's been marvellous. There's some really, really good information there for people to take. If anyone is interested in finding out more about Collette's work, I mean, look at any of the pictures that you see of me. Literally anything that you've seen in the last year or year and a half, maybe something like that time, is Collette's work. It's amazing work. Check out her website. She's got a huge portfolio on there, and her socials really like on fire all the time. So do check out Collette. Collette, once again, thank you so much.
No worries, John. Thank you.
Until next time.